Well, hi folks, it's the end of Friday, and the shortest day of the year for us here in the Southern Hemisphere. The winter solstice, the beginning of winter for some, not for others. Anyway, it's been a good day. I left Jacob's Well this morning at about 7. And just motored down the waterways basically towards Moreton Bay proper. It was a beautiful day, nice and sunny. I had timed it, so I rode the tide to the midpoint, and then rode the tide from the midpoint on down to Coochiemudlo Island, which is where I am now. We passed some pretty sort of scenic places and some unusual craft, and once I got to Coochimudlo, it was just right on lunchtime actually, so timed it really nicely, and had a walk around the island, had fish and chips. Yeah, I did. There was salad, okay, so should have taken a picture I guess, but enough of that. So I'm back on the boat. Had a nice look around the island, cute little island. It's just offshore basically from the mainland, from Victoria Point. There's a ferry that goes across, probably just takes a few minutes. And yeah, obviously I think people commute from here to the mainland and on to wherever they go. But yeah, cute little island, mainly residential. There wasn't much other than a couple of cafes and stuff. But I booked myself into a marina for the next 4 days, I think it is, 4 nights, up in Scarborough, at Redcliffe Point. So going to have a bit of luxury. Going to go and stay at some very good friends' place tomorrow night. That could be tragic, but anyway, we will survive. See what happens over the next few days. Various people to catch up with before I start the next stage of the journey north. So this has been all in protected waters basically, so it's been a different kind of boating for the last week or whatever it's been. Quite different, so good for a change. But anyway, without carrying on too much, here's what's happened today.
Good morning from Jacob's Well and the winter solstice. Today is the shortest day. I think the solstice is sometime later this afternoon. But yeah, here we are at Jacob's Well, and the sun has topped the horizon, so I'm getting ready to move down the waterway into Moreton Bay proper. I haven't had my coffee yet. And let's see how far we get. Narrow waterways, shallow waterways, so the tide's coming in, so I hope to ride that for a little bit, and also obviously benefit from the higher water over the shallow parts. Anyway, on to it. Not sure what this is. It looks like a vehicle carrier. It's got a ramp on the front, and I guess delivering trucks and cranes and things to various construction sites which don't have roads to them. This is the only option. And that's a farewell to Jacob's Well as the sun starts shining on it, and I head north, passing a catamaran of an interesting design. But just ticking along on the motor at the moment. Tide's with us, so we're going about 3.5 knots on idle pretty much. Yeah, beautiful morning. Let's hope those cloud stays away today. All manner of boats here. Some they obviously look like liverboards. That one would have been a glorious boat in its day, but it just needs a lot of TLC. And on we go. Beautiful morning. All sorts of business happens out here on the waterways. Okay, now first bend in the waterway as it were, so we're now veering more off to the west. There's a boat haven down there, Rudy Maas or something, I don't know, good Dutch name.
I guess we say howdy all y'all to this one. I'm guessing this is y'all because the mizzen master's behind to the wheel. Anyway, he's out here on his own. Yeah.
Well, this looks like the settlement of Rudy Mas. Not quite sure what I'm going to find here. Just passing through. Now, in that little channel there that you can barely make out is a boat haven. In fact, you can see the masts up there. So, yeah, they're hidden away in little places here. Quite amazing. Now we get to see what's inside the little channel. Yeah, it's quite an establishment. There's boat storage and all sorts of boating associated stuff in there. It obviously goes on away. You can see the masts behind the trees. So quite a large area. Oh, look at that. Sometimes Peter's right. Yeah, it all looks a bit, how you going here? A bit industrial, a bit poorly. Anyway, listen to that. And you're going to say what? And I'm going to say silence, because I've turned off the engine for a while. So yeah, just cruising along on the jib. Beautiful. There's some general riverside scenery. See, there's a trawler there. I'm just wondering where they go, because it must be a long way to the open sea from here. Following these guys up the channel. Yes, long piers here, obviously very shallow. It's quite narrow up ahead coming up. Cabbage Tree Point, I believe. Mr. Saunders, I think this is something that you are interested in. And another vehicle carrier goes by. Quite a trade going on. Well, apparently that's Little Rocky Point over there, and we've got some power cables going over. And the waterways are opening up more now, so I dare say we're getting closer to the main Moreton Bay. Bit of cloud cover just there, which would burn off. That's annoying. Well, we managed to get underneath power lines without getting electrocuted. Yeah, I've been under the root bridge, so I can do that. This is Russell Island, quite a large island actually. We'll be following it for a little while. You can see some houses over there. And we'll be following it up to a channel called W's, because basically we'll be doing a W kind of pattern to move from one side to the other. And apparently that is top of the tide, so because there are so many waterway entrances into this waterway, about halfway along at the W's, the tides change direction basically. So on the outgoing, on the south side, the tide goes south, and on the north side it goes north. I suppose that's logical, or not. But anyway, good to know. Okay, here comes some waves, that's for sure. Alrighty, here we go. Finally, another yacht going the other way. That's a cute design. All the little places people stop. So many places along this waterway. Amazing. Okay, so we're approaching the W, as it were. So we're going to go down around the shallow bits and then through a narrow opening which we can't see yet. There is a ferry that goes through there apparently, and it has to be given way to. There's 100 meters of very narrow bits, so I've been advised basically, thank you, to make sure I stop if the ferry's coming the other way. Now the strange thing, of course, is that this looks like a hugely broad waterway and you can go wherever you like, but I'm actually navigating right now across a very shallow, narrow part, not the one I was talking about at the Big W, so yeah, it's really pay attention to the chart and just follow the path. It can be a very narrow one.
Okay, so we can now see through Carragara Channel. Looks like a wide open thing, doesn't it? Let's just go powering through. Yeah, not so much. Maybe if you're in a rough cut punt. But yeah, it's follow the zigzag now, or the W, or whatever appeals to you. As we continue our sweep along, this is the top of Russell Island. That's Carragara Island, named after the channel. The channel's named after it, who knows? And in the distance is Macleay Island. And through there, as we're going through, is the mainland. There's signs of habitation over there too. Okay, you can see a bit of a sandbar there, so that's at least a visible hurdle, as opposed to the many invisible ones which we could come a cropper on. I also mentioned earlier that this is the top of the hill, as it were, so this is the point where the tide flows in opposite directions. I'm already noticing the difference. I've been hitting about 3 knots mainly. It's just creeping up to 3.6 now, on the same rev setting on the engine, so winner winner chicken dinner. Okay, so from a distance we can see the ferry zipping through that narrow channel. It seems to go quite frequently. I've seen quite a lot of them, so we will have to avoid that one. So up ahead there's a catamaran who has done the left turn. He's going through the W. So it just gives an idea basically of the course we need to take. Geez, how many birds can you fit on here, eh? Lots. There he is going down the alleyway between the reds and greens. No ferries in sight. Lucky guy. Rounding the yellow marker to start heading west in the next couple of minutes. And round we go. That's back the way we came. And that's where we're going, through the laneway of reds and greens. Just manoeuvring around now to the entrance of the channel. See the catamaran's now turned north again. Yeah, having executed the W. And on up north. Okay, no ferries in sight behind or in front of me. I lied, here comes one, but I should be through by the time it gets here with a bit of luck. Yeah, time to thread the needle. Yes, well, discretion being the better part of valor, I've decided to just spin around and let this guy come first, because he was coming fast. Okay, where were we? Yes, ferry's gone by. There's a catamaran coming up, but even if he gets there, he can wait for me. He's not a scheduled service. So, now, time to thread the needle. Okay, about halfway along now, and the catamaran's come in. There's room for 2 vessels our size. Not a problem, but the bigger ferries obviously could be more of a challenge. Anyway, opening up whole new vistas. And there goes that. Alright, so we're back in the main channel now. Heading north. Okay, so it's getting a little busier down here. We've got car carriers or what have you. We've got ferries. More ferries. I'm actually having a coffee, getting a coffee on at the moment. So in between watching out, I've got George driving. So yeah, George is the autopilot. Don't use it a lot because it draws a lot of power. But yeah, seeing I'm on power all day today, pretty much, all good. Oh, looks like he's living up to his name. He's escaping from Moreton Bay. And this is Wham Creek. Must be a place of some note, or it's got a main road nearby. I've noticed the car carrier ferries and the passenger ferries going in and out of there quite a bit as I've come along. And looking further north now, getting near the open bay. In fact, the gap through there is into the greater part of the open Moreton Bay. Okay, just this is Snipe Island, and looking back the way we've come. That's actually Coochiemudlo in the ahead of us. Okay, so for those from Sydney, you'll recognise that this is Garden Island, and that's Potts Point. Those two places are right next to each other, or on top of each other in Sydney as well, so go figure. Okay, so Coochiemudlo in silhouette, but we will be going up around the shallows and then back in, sort of hook around to the left, to go up near the sort of right-hand end, which should be nice and sheltered, and also pretty close to stuff. Okay, so that's Victoria Point. So that's the closest part of the mainland to Coochiemudlo Island. The ferry across there goes regularly and probably only takes a couple of minutes, because as you can see the distance is very small. So we're just going to navigate up round the shoal up here and then hang a left into the island. Just turned in now and having a look at the neighbours, or potential neighbours. Now the ferry dock's down there. We don't want to anchor on the other side of it, because we will then be close to the ferry wash basically as it comes and goes. I'm not sure how often and don't want to find out. So we're going to go here to the right hand side of the dock along this beach. Yeah, that looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Yeah, it's looking pretty nice. We're still in 4 metres of water at the moment. Tide's about half out. So let's just see. Well, here I am, lunchtime, and I've just arrived at my overnight spot at Coochiemudlo. Name, I know, just doesn't sound very attractive, but yeah, it's quite a pretty place. Nice sandy beaches, and swinging around the other way, you can see behind me basically where we've come from. So those are the waterways behind us now. And what lies ahead basically is the open waters of Moreton Bay, which takes us up to Brisbane. That's tomorrow's adventure, I think. But anyway, I think we'll have a bit of lunch and maybe go and look around on shore. What do you think? Let's do it. Landfall on Coochiemudlo Island. Yeah, I know, once again, it's easy for me to say. Coochiemudlo Island. I expected mud actually, but it's all sand. No surprise. Walking the cute little narrow streets of Coochiemudlo. Victoria Parade, no less. Getting closer to the tropics. Gotta love that feeling. Let's check out what these guys are. I think if they stand still enough, I don't know they're there. I want one of these. Limitless chain. Brilliant. Well, it's not often that you get to clear up one of life's great mysteries. Where do we go when we die? Well, here it is. The Tree of Lost Souls. So not as previously thought, it doesn't go to a garage in Buffalo. It's right here in Coochiemudlo. So, anybody you're missing? Here's the tree. Definitely getting close. Well, the passenger ferry approaches the passenger dock here at Coochiemudlo. We have the vehicle ferry as well. Oh, it's coming into the ramp here. There we go. I wonder if this is the red ochre for which the island is named. If you saw the sign earlier in the video, the Aboriginal people used to come here. Well, that's what the island's named after. It's the place of red ochre or whatever they called it. Useful in body paint. I shan't be trying it. That's Victoria Point on the mainland. Lots of cars over there. Makes me wonder if a lot of them are actually Coochimudlo people who just leave their cars on the other side. I suppose this is what it looks like when your world gets washed away from around you. Almost looks like the walking tree of Dahomey. Yeah, interesting formations. Lots of wind and tide wearing away here. Oh, we've left the coast. We'll go inland and see what we find in these wilds. Okay, onward. Oh, crap. Oh, I want one of these. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's grab some. Okay. Wrong time of year, I guess. I wonder if it's brie or cheddar or... Oh well, wrong time of year. On we go. Well, this is certainly a cute old design. New boat. That's very normal. Gaff rig, obviously. And mizzen. Yeah, nice little day cruiser. Beautifully presented. Thank you for watching another Fast Forward to Queensland video. As always, don't forget to like, comment on YouTube and subscribe to Dawn Radar.